All right, Tess, what happened here today?
So shortly before 1:30, our 911 call center received a call reporting that a man at this location had possibly been killed. He received that information from a coworker of his. Essentially what we know now is that the suspect came to the victim's residence, which is here in the 3800 block of Sandra Court, for some business-related purpose. While here, the victim and suspect got into a physical altercation inside of the residence. The suspect then left and went back to his place of employment, reported to a coworker that he had killed someone at this residence. That's when the coworker called the sheriff's office. Deputies responded to the 3800 block of Sandra Court here and found a male victim inside the residence, initially believing that he was suffering from a gunshot wound to the upper body. He was transported to an area hospital by fire, where they discovered that he was not actually shot, but had been injured by an unknown object. At that point, other calls were coming in related to the suspect and his location. Deputies were able to get him detained over in the Cal Expo area based on information that they had. So he is the only suspect in this case. There is no one outstanding. No motive is known at this time, but again, the suspect was here for a business-related purpose and got into a physical altercation with the victim here.
So is this like a sales type thing, like maybe on Craigslist, or is there indications that it might, be drugs involved in terms of this business sales?
No, no indication of a Craigslist type thing. This is a professional business that has employees and had an employee out here doing work for somebody at this residence, unknown if that was the victim or not. So again, he's out here for an official business purpose and gets into that altercation with the victim.
What kind of job does the suspect have?
I don't know specifics. I believe it's some type of repair. Related to what, I don't know.
And his office was located in Cal Expo? Or?
No, it is a local business, Sacramento business, but unrelated to that Cal Expo area. That just was where deputies were able to contact the suspect.
What's the extent of the injuries to the victim, and what's his prognosis right now?
So the injuries are life-threatening at this time. He is at an area hospital being treated. So to the extent that he's getting better or worse, we don't know. But I am told that his injuries are life-threatening.
So would you say like blunt force trauma, or like to the head or torso, or can you be a little more specific about how he was injured?
Sure. So I know it's upper body injury, and again, deputies, upon contacting him, did believe that he was shot initially. Obviously, it looked like that to deputies. But once he arrived at the hospital, they were able to discover that it was due to some object. I'm not sure if it's blunt force trauma or it would be described as that, but they believe that it was due to some object.
Do we have an age for victim and suspect?
The male victim is in his 60s, and the suspect is a male, I believe in his 30s, but I will confirm that with you guys.
Any indication that, you said there was an argument, but like a struggle, like a mutual combatant type situation, any sort of injuries potentially to the suspect?
I haven't been told about any injuries to the suspect. I believe that that's something that they'll have to be, CSI will process in terms of this scene, identifying any potential weapons that were used, and then also understanding how this altercation began, who quote unquote started it, and have to go from there.
Anybody else in the house? Victim was that?
Don't believe so. Believe that the only people inside the residence at the time of the altercation was the suspect and the victim.
Was the victim conscious when deputies arrived? I mean, why didn't he just tell him he wasn't shot?
So based on the extent of his injuries, I don't believe that he was communicating with deputies. Again, they believe that he was suffering from a gunshot wound at the time. And again, life-threatening injuries. I don't know the level of his consciousness, but that information would lead me to believe he was not able to communicate that.